Collective, welcome to the channel. Okay, so this is going to be a tarot reading to go along with the oracle reading that I gave last night. So it was from the Cosmic Insight, and I had to end the video early. But you know what I realized is that, so we have got this new moon energy for April. Okay, so that is coming out. Very much. I think it's tomorrow or the 28th. Yeah, either way, it's this weekend. Let's see. Either way, we're spelling it. Oh. Yeah, it's tomorrow, the 27th. And a day later, Venus and Saturn will make a close approach to each other, known as a conjunction. Oh, wow. Okay. So heightened intuition's coming out. I just wanted to get a few cards. Moving on. Someone is unavailable. A waste of time is over. Oh. You know, honeymoon's on the bottom here. Honeymoon phase, attending somebody's wedding. Oh. Some of you could be realizing that, like, the honeymoon phase is over. Yes. And then there's divorce. With caution. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself. It's interesting. The angels and commitment. A lost loved one watches over you. Very sweet. You know, this is collective. So as you can see, collective cards. This is in the energy. This is what's coming out here. Seeing love spell we had last night, pregnancy last night. That's why I don't always use the oracle for the collective readings. But what I was getting last night was that somebody could be under some sort of love spell. You know, new moons, they love to be casting things, you know, spell work, black magic. People don't realize how powerful the moon cycles are. And you could be having somebody in your family. He keeps showing me this sexuality card. Someone's still figuring themselves out. This could have to do with the love spell, because I was talking about that. No, it just came out. I feel like I'm just going to pull some tarot on each of these cards to figure out. Yeah, there's so many collective cards. But what I was getting is sometimes love spells can be projected, and it's not always like to fall in love. It could literally be some people could be putting love spells to try to get you to move away from a lover, to feel that a lover is unsure about their sexuality. You know what I mean? Like making somebody feel as though they're interested in the other sex instead of like being with you. These projections and stuff like that can very much cause divorce, separation, moving. And I even said in the reading yesterday, like, if somebody finds out they're pregnant, like, you should keep that to yourself. Like, I know it's beautiful to tell family and friends and do the gender reveal parties and all that, but maybe you should wait until you're farther along, until clearly, like, you can't hide it anymore. People are going to be seeing stuff that's going on, just to kind of protect that. Because jealous people will get in and try to spread malicious rumors and gossips, you know, and there's been so many like beautiful pregnancies and stuff that I've seen where then the mother is all unsure and feeling all alone because her lover thinks that, oh my gosh, this child's not mine, what if, you know what I mean? And it's all because of what people were saying, because people were jealous and envious. I mean, I know it's not that way in every situation, but some families it is. And you know, and those projections are real, and what the mother is going through when she's creating a baby, that puts that into that child. That's why it's not always good to just go throwing all of that out there. You really should kind of keep your pregnancy between you and your partner, you know, as long as you can, you know. It's interesting, the same cards coming out. We had divorce coming out too. Experiencing, you know, it doesn't always mean like a physical divorce. It could just literally be experiencing a breakup, a separation. Like somebody is wanting to move on. Maybe somebody is realizing that somebody is unsure about their sexuality for some, but with the new moon, I'm picking up a lot of like spell work and projections, and people don't realize it's not always like witches that need to cast this stuff. Anybody that's heavily in their emotions and feelings and talking and gossiping and putting emotions upon that can literally project stuff your way. So if under the new moons you have somebody that's talking a lot of ish about you to somebody and they're sending that spell work and black magic your way, and it's intensified under the moon. Right? Yeah, look, it's communicating. The love spell came right back out. I told you. Date night. Get ready to be wined and dined. Communicate. Sure, something there, you know, heightened emotions and feelings come across these moons. Make room for new beginnings. It's on its way to you. You and your partner are emotionally distant. Why do I keep pulling these cards? And patience, and that moving on card keeps coming out as well. What was that movement? Venus and Saturn. So Venus is the planet of love and Saturn's the planet of karma. They're making a close approach to each other. I'm gonna have to look into more of that transit, do a reading on that. So that's following a day later, so that's on Monday. For some of you, you could be letting go of karmic relationships and situations. You could be realizing that, yeah, maybe somebody did have you under some sort of lustful energy. If you're realizing the honeymoon phase is over and things like that, you could be realizing to move on. Like if you're realizing, like if the relationship was like purely physical. Alright, I'm gonna quit playing with these cards. This is what happened last night. I got pulled into them. I wanted to do a general collective love reading, and we'll see. So, yeah, I'll post it with this one. You guys will get into it. But please remember, just because all that came out does not mean that is your story, all that's going on. Please do not think, oh my gosh, that's my story, all, because those were not all for one storyline. Okay. So, let's see. 6 of Pentacles slid out with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Fairness. Damn. This could be a solidification. I was hearing the word solidification. Sometimes words come out, I don't even know if they're real. Because with this movement, it's almost like new moons are new starts and new beginnings. But with Venus making movement with Saturn, to me, you know, Saturn's like, if you were in a karmic relationship cycle or whatever, it's like Venus is coming in to like pull you out of that. Right? And sometimes it's toxic cycles and patterns within a relationship. Like it could be like a new start, right? Solidification is very much the word. To make solid, compact, or hard, obviously, but I like to look at like other meanings to see what they're meaning by it. To make secure, substantial, or firmly fixed. See, there's this energy that it's giving of like making something more official, more like Like, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, after having to go through these hard times, like, it just affirms something. Recent findings help to solidify our position. So this is what I mean. The international community is working to solidify its alliances. See, these are examples of solidify, but they said solidification. They specify it that way for a reason, but then it kind of puts me down the rabbit hole of looking for different ways to use this word, right? But yeah, solidification just pulled up solidify, the verb. I wanted solidification. What is the opposite of solidification? The opposite is when a solid becomes a molten liquid. Okay. And it basically just comes up a noun form of solidified. Okay, solidification is the act or process of changing from being a liquid or a gas to a solid form. I feel like let's check this out. He devoted himself largely to problems involving the solidification of gases. So it keeps going to this liquid solid form. But see, people use it in other ways. There really has been a solidification of voters' opinions on the candidates. So in particular, steady solidification fonts may exist when it's largely then some critical value, which depends on the parameters of the model. All right, I feel like I'm going to stop looking into all of this, but what I'm getting at is when I have certain words that channel across that I don't even use, they really got my attention, because then I know that normally it's big sign, synchronicity, message for somebody. And normally when I get certain words that I don't normally use and I start to look them up, I find a way it's getting used that gives like a whole nother unique message for somebody. I just don't feel like I'm finding it right now, and they keep telling me like the rabbit hole, like this is meant for whoever this is for, to go find it. Like you're gonna, looking up solidification, you're gonna find a certain way, a certain meaning, or you're just gonna understand what I mean by that. And this may help you find out like how this relationship or situationship or whatever this is for you, what this means with this movement and this new moon at this time. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there, but I felt to explain why I'm looking so much into just one word, right? Okay, so anyway, 6 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. So this is about equal give and take, equal share, and, you know, ultimate everything. The 10 of Pentacles is everything for me. Having, you know, just more than enough resources, finances, long-term success. Like you're definitely balancing out. That this is what I mean. Like this is so huge at this time. Like something is definitely like, it's like set in stone. Like with that solidification, like it's, something is guaranteed to you. And as I pick up the entire deck, but justice was left on the table. It's part of your justice. You've definitely overcame something. See, you were in this Knight of Swords energy, I felt, right? This very challenging time, all these obstacles, all of these things I feel that you needed to work through. 8 of Pentacles, a 3 of Cups, I see. The Magician, the Knight of Swords, the Emperor. I paid attention to what I'm going to. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm cooking right now, and the smell of my French toast sticks just kind of like overcame me, this sweetness. Page of Pentacles, like something sweet, something is coming in, some sort of new beginning for sure is definitely here. The Hierophant, new contract. Sorry, these cards are slippery. Seven of Wands reversed. Maybe you're not being guarded anymore. What is this? Let's look up this meaning. This is a new deck that I got, so I'm interested with the certain meanings that they have associated with the reversals. Surviving a threat, having weak boundaries, or giving up and quitting is with the Seven of Wands. But I don't feel that you're giving up or quitting. It's almost like maybe you are giving up on something, but surviving a threat, like, I get this energy like you're not letting something take over you anymore, but maybe you're just not giving to it anymore. Like you're not, if something scared you or had you in fear, oh yeah, the Devil reverse. You're not letting the devil have you in fear anymore. You've overcame something for sure, is what this is giving. Recovery, release, breaking free. Weakness, look at the timer going up. Weakness, blindness, reclaiming your power. See, you've reclaimed your power. You're not giving in to fear anymore. Maybe you were dealing with the King of Wands reversed. A bully or dictator. A sexist jerk or cheater. A weakling or someone with no impact or vision. I don't want to read the last one. Yeah. Somebody could have very much been in that energy. You know, what I was getting that was very beautiful. Yeah, like the sun's coming in for you now. For some of you, like if you were dealing with somebody that was in this energy, you need to know that it's not always just like you align with somebody like that because you were deserving of that. Or, you know what I mean? Especially when we were in a mirrored reality. I know for a while I'd be like, well, why am I attracting somebody like this? What aspect of this caused me to attract somebody like this, you know? But you need to realize that sometimes people, like, they fall in love, okay? Their heart chakra starts to get activated, but then they shut down because fear sets in. And then when fear sets in, because, oh no, they're starting to catch feelings, fall in love, right? And then their heart chakra shuts down. Then these dark energies, devil, gets it, takes over. And then it's like, then they could be harboring entities. And those entities mess with them and get in their head and cause them to do things to sabotage and be in these energies, right? And do these deceitful things. It's not always the person, it's literally the entities that are running them. Basically, they're programming, right? So, and especially when we're in a world where there is so much like lustful things. Just look at the entertainment industry, right? All of that stuff, it runs off of that. So it doesn't take much to see it running across your phone. The temptations are everywhere, right? And especially if drugs and alcohol get in the mix. So a lot of times, you know, these things destroy people. It's not literally the person themselves. So that, you know what I mean? It's nothing that you did to cause that person to. You know, and I know that this stuff hurts when people go and do that, right? But you need to know that it wasn't an aspect of yourself that like caused them to go do that. It wasn't that you weren't lovable. It was literally you were too much for them is why they were under attack. And if they weren't strong enough to fight these things off, then love is not enough for them. They need a lot of healing to do, and I'm getting somebody who's deserving more of real love, of somebody that can do that work and fight off the devil and not hurt the one that they love. And this looks like somebody that deserves someone that is not going to get hurt, not going to be connecting with somebody that's getting controlled by dark forces. I felt somebody needed to hear that. Three of Wands. So something is off at the distance. Something very beautiful is coming in. Yeah, see, look, the Seven of Swords is here next to the Eight of Swords. Somebody was trapped and stuck in, like, fear and illusions. Something was keeping somebody trapped here. Yeah, there was secrets and... See, it's interesting, an Emperor here. The Death card. There could have been somebody that was like your Emperor. Somebody that was like your Divine Masculine that fell from grace. Somebody that was destined to be your divine, like a fallen twin, fallen counterpart. Somebody was controlled by dark forces, and that's why there's an ending. Divine could be bringing in, this could be a new beginning. This could be somebody that realizes this and released the chains and binds to the devil. See how, look, even his eyes are red, like he's possessed, right? I'm getting this is an Emperor that lost their divinity, right? They got disconnected from source, and maybe, you know, it takes that sometimes to be in the darkness to find your way back to the light. So maybe this is an energy where somebody does find their way back, but if not, either way, there's passion, a new beginning here. Tower, Ace of Wands. So if you did have somebody fall from grace, Divine is bringing in somebody new, somebody that's aligned to your vibrational frequency. Pretty much you're attracting it in with the Magician, because you're staying in this energy. You didn't turn dark, so you're attracting exactly what you deserve and desire, what's fair, what's equal. Ultimately, I feel you have a decision. You can see the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, but see, you're this beautiful energy. You're starting to realize, literally, like, you know, something I was realizing is, like, your twin is, like, your ultimate, like, I don't know how to put this, like, your ultimate, like, test. It is. It's like your ultimate test. If you're, it's like when you come up against your twin, you have to battle through so much. Final tests. If you both can battle through those tests and trump the devil, then you reach mastery and you get that divine union. But if one can't make it through, the other just catapults the one up and they align with the new lover. Either way, it's always going to be victory and success for at least one of the twins. So that's why they say it can be a twin flame trap, because if your twin doesn't exceed with you and falls to the devil, they're constantly going to be pulling you back to those. They're going to bind you to them and to the devil. So for some, it's extremely difficult because you have to break the chains with your twin to break the chains from the devil. And with that said, I'm going to leave this reading here. Take it as you would. Love and light to all you guys.